Of course, Meomaika hailing from Vietnam. Crimson from New Zealand. It's going to be a great Zerg versus Zerg.
Certainly, and we're going to go to Dreamcatcher for our first map here on the top left, under the moniker Meomaika. This is Meomaika from Vietnam. I believe he's currently teamless.
Occasionally harvests 2v2 ladder points off us, but of course, his opponent down here in the bottom right-hand side in the red, it is Crimson.
It is kind of annoying how high our MMR is as a 2v2 team, Pig.
Yeah.
We were having a lot of fun doing, whatever we wanted. Now we actually have to deal with legitimate strategies.
I mean, I think it's arguable if they're all legitimate strategies. We're just illegitimate, but
is there a legitimate strategy in 2v2? You decide.
Whatever works goes, right? It is cool to see Meo. You know, Meo's a character. Everybody kind of loves Meo because he just plays such as his own style. Big fan of the Roach Slow Zergling all in, which was the real game breaker, where I think a lot of his opponents' keyboards got broken when they lost to that one as well, because they had never seen it before. They couldn't really comprehend what was happening, and they lost a lot of ladder points and then tournament points and tournament money and qualification spots losing to him. So I love seeing, whatever Meo does bring out in the match. Crimson, of course, playing a very nice series against NXZ. That impressed me. That made me very, very happy with how he showed up there.
Certainly. I mean, Crimson's been... I mentioned it yesterday, and I'll say it again because it's still relevant. He's just been more impressive every single time I see him. Like, he is definitely growing as a player. He's not losing any of that momentum. He just seems to get better every tournament, which really speaks to a sign of a really consistent player, something that we're going to keep seeing in those round of 8s and those round of 4s. I fully expect Crimson to start heading closer and closer to the ultimate goal of WCS qualification. He hasn't managed to get it just yet, but he's been oh so close so many times. Was that pull first without any gas from Meomaika? He's just taking a little bit later. For the build on it, just by the way.
Check out that production tab for both sides, by the way. Both of them want to be a little bit cheeky and try to get up a fast Ling upgrade. Both players going for the very quick Evo chamber. I think it's going to be melee for Meomaika and Carapace for Crimson. Now, this is funny because Carapace costs more, but it is technically slightly better because of Zerg unit regeneration. And this is by 1% or something. And it very rarely affects combat. But we'll see if it actually makes a difference. Obviously it does if Banelings come into the field. Mean your Zerglings don't get one-shotted, so you can kind of bust through a lot more Banelings with Zergling floods. But we're going to have to see does Crimson spot this. That'd be huge if you can see the Evo chamber. That'd be awesome.
He does see it, and he sees it a wiggling. Now, does he know it's going to be attack or a carapace? I think he can have a pretty good read, but I doubt he clicked on the gas or anything like that. I guess that would be the only way to be able to tell.
Yeah, I think you don't really need to adjust either way either, right? I mean, this is the point though, where he knows it's Zergling versus Zerg. Meo doesn't actually know anything about what Crimson's doing, other than the fact there's no third down yet, and that is a bit abnormal. So this is the point where we might see a bit of Zergling chicken. See, who's going to hold down that Zergling key more? Obviously, Meomaika is obviously going to build more Zerglings, as we see that, but I feel like Crimson's being almost borderline greedy here. He doesn't have a Baneling Nest, and he's droning a lot and taking a third. At this point, you need to just hold down Zerglings, and you need to defend like a real boss to actually stop this Ling Flood. So I think there we go. The Lings do start up for Crimson. He's trying to take the economic advantage and play the defensive style. Ling versus Ling, this could punish him very, very quickly. This could really turn
Certainly. This Queen Wall and that ball of Lings just being amassed there in the natural. I hear like the winds are blowing and I hear them go, Jerry.
Did he bring the Queens across the map with this?
He is making a bit of a highway.
Oh my lord, Meomaika. The memes are strong with this one. My man is going to walk across the map with 4 queens, start sniping down overlords and flood the Lings. This is actually insane. Crimson goes to fight this. No, Crimson, you got to get out of there. Don't get surrounded. Oh no, Crimson. Good evacuation.
Crimson's, yeah. He's bitten off more than he can chew here, and now his Lings are on the other side of the map, and they can't get home to defend. Meomaika's going to do devastating damage with these Lings.
Yeah, I mean, Crimson, he saw that it was a Ling upgrade from Meomaika. He had to expect this, but I think he just underestimated the power of it. And seeing those queens, I think, tricked him. He thought, oh, maybe it wasn't a Ling upgrade. And then suddenly, no, there's 400 Zerglings right now diving into both sides' bases, and it looks like the drone line of Crimson is forfeit. He's just going to lose too many workers here, and Mio does manage to defend at home. It's almost equal workers on both sides, but there's just too much army supply.
Yeah.
And Meomaika, the meme lord himself, takes down an easy game 1 victory versus Crimson.
Wow, that was very cut and dry there from Meomaika. Not really got to turn into too much of a game of StarCraft. That was just a decision from Crimson that cost him the game, and an A move from Meomaika that ended it. He just made the right choice, I guess, is how that one ended up.
This is the confounding effect of playing against Meomaika. I think it's those queens. Who brings queens across the map with a +1 melee Zergling flood? This is such a bizarre thing to do. And it's funny because I've encountered this once on the ladder, and I just had flashbacks to the same reaction, which I'm sure Crimson's going through now. Where he's kind of just scratching his head going, what? Lots of queens means you're going into roaches because you're using those to defend your wall off. But you were flooding Zerglings. So I think Crimson had a good read. He said, I'm going to take a third, build a few more drones, and just defend with like Queen Ling and use defender's advantage. But I think his brain broke a little bit when he saw those queens come out. And having his Lings trapped on the wrong side of the map, he was just outnumbered, outgunned, and Meomaika takes it down. Very well done.
Certainly. Crimson being punished for a little bit of greed there and for getting out there on the map with these Lings. Man, I wonder how you get these reads on Meomaika, maybe getting a little bit closer with your Overlords. Catalyst is a little bit easier, I guess, to get into the main and scout with the Overlord pathing, I guess. And also, there's more, I guess, open pathways as well, so the Lings can't kind of escape. It feels like you need 8 or 9 Overlords to cover every attack path on Dreamcatcher. But Catalyst, less so. I guess you can get away with less. Especially since that Overlord buff.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting because the thing is, any upgraded Zergling style is naturally volatile just because you're skipping things like Banelings or Roaches that allow you to produce a much meatier unit, right? Or at least a much more anti-Zergling flood unit. So I think Crimson chose a bit more of a volatile style in game 1. It's a good build for Dreamcatcher because the bases are spread out. There's lots of areas for Ling counterattacks to work, but definitely just kind of got a little bit too carried away with how he was playing that. He was already pushing his greed quite a lot since it was Ling upgrade versus Ling upgrade, and just pushed that too hard. Now being down a game, this is the point you never want to be against Meomaika. It's so annoying. If you think just one big mistake, you know, one game lost and you're out of the series, that's a terrible situation to be in. So Crimson's got to lock down everything. He's got to, you know, batten down the hatches and all that stuff, and he's got to play a really tight game number 2 and 3.
Oh yeah, certainly. Meomaika just one game away from the winners finals here for qualification day, which is massive. See, if he makes winners final, that doesn't mean does that mean he's through?
Winners final is top 3 guaranteed, I believe.
Yeah.
Because if you lose that, you go to the losers final. So basically it means if you win the losers final, that's where you guarantee top 2.
Cool.
So yeah, if you...
the game has hung for me as well. It's just production asking us through our ears what's going on here. The game has hung. It generally means probably one of the players is lagging out.
It could be an observer as well, usually one of the players, but there we go. Yeah, it's loading up. I was going to say, and it was Moonglade. No worries.
What a scumbag.
Sorry, boys.
I'll just let Meomaika know that he doesn't have to Yep, there we go. Thank you, Insano. Good lad. Of course, Insano from WCS Austin fame, managing to fly across the pond and get some observing done. Let's get to the game. At the top left here from SYF, currently down 1 in the series. Can he fight back? This is Crimson from New Zealand.
And his opponent, hailing from Vietnam, a wildly aggressive and volatile playstyle. This blue Zerg player, he is Meomaika.
Meomaika had a bit of a lack of results for a little while there, but he's definitely made top 8 before. He got to fly all the way to Sydney for a couple of those lands, so I got to meet him in person. He's a really jolly guy, very, very positive and fun. But I don't believe he's ever been in this position before, only a map away from winners finals at a WCS qualifier. This is a new high for Meomaika, and likewise for Crimson. Getting this deep is a rarity for him, but I mean, I mentioned it a little bit before. I just think he keeps getting better and better with every single WCS that I see him in. So it's not a surprise when you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one of those things where you've got to remember that Meomaika did not have an easy bracket either. He did eliminate Probe 2-0 in the first round, the round of 16. That's how he got here. So Meomaika has definitely done some, very powerful opening to this series, and looks like for now both players are going to open up with a hatch gas pool. Interesting to see Mio actually just saving lava right now. So I think he wants to build 6 or even 8 Zerglings like the moment his pool finishes and just start putting pressure on. Yeah, there we go. Looks like he just wants to get over there as quick as possible.
Yep, 6 lings coming out here for Mio. I mean, Crimson's going to use that extra bit of minerals to get a couple queens at once and cut the lings in half. I like what Crimson's doing a little bit more, but because I just feel like the extra 4 lings isn't going to help you a ton here, considering defender's advantage and the queens and that sort of thing in ZVZ.
This is all psychological. It forces a disruption more than anything. The Overlord for Crimson should notice this if he's paying attention. If he's not watching, it's a disaster. But now he immediately turns his own lings around. And the thing is, you got to respect this. Build another 2 or 4 Zerglings of your own. The thing is, for Crimson right now, did he even check the creep spread? I feel like he might be a little bit afraid.
Yeah, you might be thinking like a ling flood of some variety here from because he's dropping that baneling nest immediately after seeing these lings.
And that's it, right? Maybe he's just going to get a bit scared, overreact a little bit. Maybe that's what Mio's hoping for. Mio gets a really nice angle at the start of that fight. So I think Crimson there should have left the queens up front. Ends up losing a drone and a few Zerglings. Not a terrible trade for Mio. Mio's actually up a few workers behind this and gone straight into a Roach Warren. Very odd to see both players still stuck on 2 bases at this point, but I feel like the thing is, look about this, Crimson is the defensive player. His scouting gets denied. He does see not too many drones in the natural, but he's the kind of guy now who's going to be like, oh, I want to get a third. I want to get back to a normal game. Whereas Mio's just like, nah, I'm sending my 2 queens across the map, and I am rallying roaches and lings.
I'm a little worried for Crimson here. He's going for a big ling flood. Looks like he's going to go for a ling bane attack here, but Mio is already producing roaches. And these are going to be fantastic defensively, and then he can just march across the map.
Yeah, you've got to be really quick to react here as Crimson. Lingbane actually beats Roachling in a lot of scenarios when you're off this sort of economy, until the Roaches get to a much higher number. But if Crimson trickles in a little bit and loses too many lings, then it ends up really bad. He's got to pull back and immediately kind of either go for his own third hatch, maybe think about a Roach Warren. He can't drone too hard, and that's the scary thing for Crimson, is you're like, well, how much do I drone? How much do I build units? A Spine starts at home. That's a great choice. The Banelings are going back, and he's looking to counterattack with the Zerglings. I think he should have kept his Banelings with this. Imagine if he had 4 Banelings right now. That would have been massive.
He does have the ling advantage, but Meomaika has those queens helping out his own lings here for that defense. He's going to at least deny that third base of Meomaika. Now he has these roaches to deal with and only spine crawlers and lings to deal with. However, he's made so many lings that he might be able to surround it here. And the roaches actually look like they're pulling back.
Yeah, so this is more of a fake push here from Mio. He realizes with that amount of lings there, he was like, oh, I actually can't keep committing. Went back to droning. These Banelings...
these are going to finish!
Oh, the second Baneling didn't actually connect. It only hit a single Zergling. But still a good trade for Crimson so far. The problem is his work account, right? He's got an Evo chamber down now, cancels his second spine. He actually canceled his third base as well. Oh no. That's a real shame for Crimson. And I don't think he knows about the third base of Mio on the right. Mio taking the weird third base. He's just tricking Crimson this game. And I feel like, yeah, Crimson is in still a very dicey position here. He's got to really get an idea of what's going on soon.
Well, that's a good start. Getting those 2 lings into the main base, seeing that lair. And he sees that Meomaika... Well, he actually hasn't seen this third hatchery just yet. Yeah. He's obviously no creep spread. The hatch isn't finished, so...
And he's not realized...
potentially misreading.
Yeah, he still thinks it's a 2 base. That's really bad for Crimson. You know, there's been so much weirdness already with that early ling pressure in this game. And now I think Crimson's maybe slightly panicked here. Doesn't have many units at home, and Meomaika is just going to dive in with a bit of a run by at an odd time, and Crimson's way out of position to defend this. Drones are going to start to go down. Nice plays from Mio.
Oh yeah, these lings getting a lot of damage done. Crimson doing a bit of drone drilling here, losing a bit of mining time, losing a few workers as well. While Mio gets the scout off, sees exactly what he's up against, which isn't a whole lot. Because basically Ling Bane is the only thing he's worried about for now, as Crimson is starting to get towards Roach Tech. And Mio already with that huge Roach advantage. He's on 44 army supply, and he has a third hatchery.
Yeah,
his work account's going to start shooting ahead as well.
Crimson's Overseer morphing, and he's going to see this creep, and he's going to feel his heart sink and go, oh no, there's already a third finished and mining. My third just started. Oh, totally misread the play. He's got upgrades. He's got his own roach production starting. But remember, Mio skipped the Banelings. He skipped building quite as many lings as Crimson. And, he's just been building roaches for much longer. If Mio just holds down that roach key, he will be ahead in the roach count for pretty much this entire game. Crimson has to play with defender's advantage. He's got to try to, really just eke out edges defensively with very good positioning.
He is making a lot of roaches here, and his +1 will be earlier than Meomaika. If he realizes this, maybe he can go for an attack, but it looks like he's just slowing things down, like just trying to... well, actually, more Overlords are on the way here. He's just going to rest his finger on that R button and go for a big attack.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you can think... This is what's so bad about Crimson's situation right now, is Crimson... he feels like he's forced to attack, but the thing is, Mio would love that. Mio would love to fight right now. The upgrades don't matter as much as this huge supply advantage that Mio has right now. He's got way too many roaches and ravages. I love the link counter on the left, but Mio was like so ready for this. He knew there was Zerglings out of the map, and you could tell he just knew this was going to happen at some point in this game. Mio reading the plays perfectly.
Crimson is getting a lot of damage done in the main mineral line, though. It looks like the Queen goes down, and a few drones going to go down as well. So he puts those lings on hold position. Mio also trying to drone drill here. Of course, that's denying a little bit of mining time as well. And Crimson is moving towards that third base. Mio is out of position. And here comes Crimson with his roaches. He's got +1 attack. Mio's is just about to finish as well. 5 seconds off. Good start to this engagement with Crimson, but in comes the reinforcements for Mio.
And that's the numbers. The upgrades are now equal, +1 on both sides. And of course, the roach count advantage... It's about even, but the Ravages, of course, make the advantage there for Meomaika. Meomaika's on the aggressive counterattack now. He's on the Warpath. Crimson is still been holding down that Roach Key, though, so he might have the numbers. Actually, he's got a very good angle.
He certainly does. Got a big wrap around the ball of Roaches and Ravages here for Mio. Dodging those biles and still engaging here. His Roaches are actually winning on the right-hand side, but on the top left, they are starting to thin out. Roaches, more of them being bled in here for Crimson. He has Roach speed. They're reinforcing as quickly as possible. Mio starting to lose ground here. Crimson starting to win this engagement.
This is so close. I mean, Crimson just doesn't really quite have the numbers. It feels like both sides trading out, but Mio's got the 5 worker advantage behind this, so any even trades do favor Mio in the long run. Crimson, I think, a little bit destitute here. He's just so poor. He just feels like he can't afford any more roaches. He's got to defend this base. But there we go. Mio jumps on top of it, playing some very nice mind games in this series. Meomaika just rolling through, confident as always, happy to take the game to a weird position. And Crimson just not able to keep up with the mind games of the Vietnamese Zerg.
He really pulled a fast one on him, didn't he? He's got a 70-odd army supply here, up 40 army supply of Roach, pure Roach against Crimson. Equal upgrades, equal speed. And with this worker advantage and the fact that he has all these Roaches not dealt with on the creep of Crimson, he's just picking up Roaches one at a time. Every single A move with that refresh and that attack for the Roaches is getting damage done. And Crimson is going to have to tap out and try his luck in that loser's bracket. GG. Meomaika is in the winners finals here.
Wow. No, but nobody would have called that at the start of today. Mio as a favorite to get through to the finals. That's cool. That's crazy. He is going to face off, of course, against Seether up there in that grand finals, or at least upper bracket finals, I should call it, match. That is awesome. Wow. Great play.
Wow. Well, Moonglade, you actually didn't get to see that game in person in the lobby because you disconnected, but you could have seen it through vMix.
I was watching it through vMix. What the hell, man? Meomaika is just his own player, man. He's just got his own ideas about the game. He's full of tricks. He's a bag of tricks, and I love it.
Tricky players are historically very hard to deal with.
Yeah, it's so easy to get in your own head against a player like that. So, poor Ben does get knocked to the lower bracket, but he's got another chance. Definitely just got the worst end of the mind games for sure.
Rip.
I love that first game, by the way. The first game was classic Mio.
Oh man, that's that Queen strategy. It's kind of comforting and not comforting at the same time to know that the mass link flood still works at the highest level of StarCraft and ZBC.
It's a scary thing, but it's also kind of cool. Jerry lives on in all of us.
Jerry lives on in all of our hearts. May his legacy never die. Well, that's kind of it for the winners bracket for now, I think. We've got to swing on down to the losers bracket and see what's happening down there. Looks like Risky got the 2-0 over Peppy. NXZ getting a 2-0 over Demilove. Really unfortunate. Not seeing any of Demilove here.
Damn, didn't see any Demi.
Yeah, no Demi at all. NXZ and Risky, there's a ZVZ in losers round 3. Igus versus Probe. Ooh.
Oh, man, there's some big games down there.
Oh, yeah.
There's some big games everywhere, man.
And of course, to get there, Probe 2-0 to yours and Igus 2-0 to Zur. So like this lower bracket has just been a bloodbath of really damn good players.
A real bloodbath. Let's see the Meomaika in the winners bracket final. Craigasm. Well, we'll go to the winners final. We haven't done the dishes just yet. The winners bracket is not complete. So Seether versus Meomaika will be our next series. That's going to be an interesting one. I doubt Meomaika is going to play regular ZVT here, as regular seems to not be in his repertoire.
No, he's going to get fresh. And I think that's probably a good thing because Seether, if you're going to play standard against Seether, he's just going to run right through you, man. He's just a macro machine and he knows all the stops.
I'm with you there. Oh man, I'm excited for the winners final, and I'm excited for every match in the losers bracket, and that really makes me feel like a spoiled, happy StarCraft fan.
Dude, Igus versus Probe, we might miss that, and that's a shame because that's going to be such an awesome match as well.
Yeah, too true. Goodness gracious, you know what? We're going to set up the lobby here for that winners bracket final. Sure, it's not too far off from being done. Do we need to fill time, or can we take a bit of a break? We're not too sure just yet. I'm not sure how far away the lobby is. All right. Well, we're just going to take a few minutes. I mean, we can just talk about anything forever, but we'll just take a few minutes break, and when we come back, we'll be fresh, refreshed, and ready for the winners bracket final between Seether and Meomaika. Do not go away, guys. See you for 6TVZ coming up next.